Welcome to the Smooth Money Game podcast. This is John Dollar Beal and my main man, Jared Smith.
And today we got some amazing topics to start off with. We're going to talk about Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State University for Colorado. You think it was a good move or not?
It's always a good move when Deion does it, man. It's always a good move. Prime time is always showing you which way he's going forward, just forward. He don't go back. What do you think?
I think it was a great move by Deion, especially with the way that he was getting treated in the SWAC. It was some coaches that were hating on him big time. Uh,
Hey,
JSU and the SWAC really blew this. You had a once in a generation type of person that could literally change the scale of football. You had the number one recruit in the nation coming to your school. You had five-star recruits regularly coming to Jackson State, which probably didn't have the facilities or the equipment to keep this or to attract this type of talent. But because of Deion Sanders, they were bringing in $1 million of investors. They had new uniforms like they were every week, like they were Oregon, and y'all let him go. And when I say let him go, obviously he was going to leave for a better opportunity if it presented himself. Like he wasn't someone who was just going to leave for any opportunity. There's a reason why he went there. I think it was more the SWAC dropping the ball, kind of, treating them not treating them how they should have been. JSU and the SWAC community should have bonded together to try to raise more than the 5 million that he's getting. Because like when you have this possibility, let's say you had JSU, right? And JSU for 4 or 5 years kept bringing in five-star players. And let's say they went and played a D1 school and beat them, right? And then every year in the SWAC conference, they're playing JSU, whoever's the rivalry of that team. Now top players are going to want to go to the rivalry team of that team because they're going to want to beat JSU. But because Jackson State and the SWAC dropped the ball here, now Deion's going to move on to Colorado. Great for Deion. I think he's going to do great there. I think it's going to be the same 3-year process it took at Jackson State. The only thing that I hate sometimes to see is that we're left in positions where we have to leave the situations in Black communities to have to work at PWIs or work in PWI institutes because we're not always respected and loved by our own people, and people don't understand that. So those people calling them a sellout, y'all are goofy because Jackson State wasn't a winning team before he got there. There wasn't a big notoriety around Jackson State before Deion Sanders got there. And just because and all the coaches that were hating on Deion Sanders, y'all could have been making millions of dollars if y'all would have just played along. But that's all I got to say on that.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this: Division I football coaches, you got some of them making in upwards to $7 to $10 million. What was Dion making at Jackson State? About $500,000. Is the math? Do the math. I mean, he's still coming on to Colorado. He's being underpaid. But if he proves, like he proved at JSU, that he's the man, that money's going to go up. And with the recruits he gets, it'll be like Miami. Miami used to have the recruits. Now Miami's a shell of what it used to be. Well, Colorado might become the new Miami, when these players start coming in. And you think he's getting commercials now? Commercials that other coaches in the SWAC could have got at some particular time and will never get because they wanted Deion out. They're happy making $60,000, $70,000 a year as a head coach. I think you ought to be demoted to $40,000 a year and a Hugo as a vehicle for dishing Deion. That's y'all's problem now.
And the crazy thing is, Deion's worth $1 billion. To be real with you, if those TV contracts that Deion was getting, I mean, to have an HBCU on TV, these TV contracts are worth billions of dollars. And with a personality like Deion there, I would have brought in investors, all kind of people to try to make sure that his salary was 10 million. Whatever the D1 schools were paying him, I would have figured out a way to pay him more because he was worth more than anything that'll come to JSU. All the people hating on Deion, y'all are foolish because what he was doing, there probably won't be another person to come into an HBCU in the next 100 years that's going to be able to touch a program like Deion did.
Well, when you go to sports with a jock mind and don't use the business side of it, these guys getting home economic degrees and things like that, not taking it serious. This is what you are missing out. You are missing out on the chance, the business of doing business, playing football. That's something Deion's always did. Baseball, football. Y'all need to follow him and make the swag what it needs to be. But it's up to you all. You all can hate on anybody. You can live your life out of hate because you didn't do as well as he did in professional football or is doing in business. He's creating a business for everybody, but y'all won't take it. A matter of fact, if you don't watch out, he'll be coaching my boys, the Dallas Cowboys. You heard it from me.
Yeah, I think Deion Sanders is more about winning, so I don't see him going to the Cowboys because he ain't gonna win big there. But anyway, now on to the college football Heisman race. We got all quarterbacks, 2 which are black. It seems like you're seeing more black quarterbacks in the NFL. You're seeing 2 black Heisman finalists. I think the last Heisman Trophy winner was Bryce Young, who was black as well. So it looks like we are like the black quarterback isn't just a thing that's like a trend. It's a reality in full force now. What do you think about that?
When I was a black quarterback in college, my grade point average was 1.3. Not just it. Man, these black quarterbacks are doing it. They're smart. Their parents are really coaching them to live up to their occasion. They're listening to their coaches. They're reading playbooks. They're doing a lot of things. Back in the day, they were trying to keep black quarterbacks from showing that they could show out in every way that they could. And they were letting, these other jocks come out and they can do whatever they want of a different color. But now that they have opened the door, just like when you used to not have any black running backs, now that they had opened the door, it's a whole new situation. These guys are balling out, showing up. I think it's a good thing for everybody. What do you think?
What I think is that this is what they were trying to stop from happening when they were preventing black quarterbacks from playing the quarterback position, is because they knew this is what would be the reality. It would be a point in time.
Who knew?
The people who were just trying to stop people from playing quarterback.
Who are they?
Who are they? Shoot, almost all these college football teams that now have black quarterbacks.
All right. I just wanted to know who they were.
The Cowboys at a certain point in time, the Steelers moving Cordell to wide receiver. It was a lot of quarterbacks like Charlie Ward who was going to come out and try to play football, but they weren't going to let him play quarterback, or Warren Moon, who went undrafted just to end up being a great quarterback. But all that to say is
Randall Cunningham.
And the list goes on. But it's like, all that to say is that when someone is hating that hard to try to stop someone from progressing, it's not because they can't do it most of the time. It's because they're afraid of when they do it, they're going to do it better than them.
Well, one of the other people we have to mention in there is Doug Williams, who won the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And I'm always going to slide in my main man, Mahomes. Patrick, that is.
Patrick Mahomes wasn't the first quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
No, I said Doug Williams.
I'm just messing with you.
Man,
your order was off, man.
don't you do that. And he won it for your team before they start going into 20 name changes.
My guy Doug. All
Yeah,
right, now to the next subject. Your Dallas Cowboys got a big victory over the Colts, even though the Colts suck. But now the Cowboys are, I think, have a really good record. They've had a couple of good games. Do you think this makes them Super Bowl contenders?
well, the Cowboys at the beginning of the year were Super Bowl contenders. Even Mr. Haterade himself, Stephen A, said they were contenders at the beginning of the year, and that other boy Jared who hates on them too. Y'all know that they're Super Bowl contenders. Contenders. They may not get OBJ. They may get him. They're trying to get him. But if they get him, that might be good luck for one Super Bowl. That's all I gotta say about that. My boys are coming up. What do you think?
Yeah,
Think, man.
I think that the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders in Madden because it definitely ain't in real life. That team will always, have a good regular season, and all the Cowboys fans are going to be like, "Yeah, we're ready for the Super Bowl," and then they're going to lose in the first and second round. It'll be surprising if they win in the second or even make it to the second round because they're great at hyping you all up because y'all Cowboys fans drink the Kool-Aid every time. This ain't 1998. Troy Aikman's not walking through the door. Emmitt Smith's not walking through the door. Michael Irvin's not walking through the door. Yes, they are a good team. They are a playoff team, but that's about it. Super Bowl, nah. There's too many holes in that team. It's gonna get exposed in the playoffs like it always does. Forget the word Super Bowl contender. They are Super Bowl pretenders.
You sound like Skip Bayless. Oh shit, I just sharp hating on the Cowboys. But
Jeez,
it's cool. It's
Skip
cool.
loves the Cowboys.
We can we can look at your commander suspenders because we can't even say they're pretenders.
Yeah, that's why I don't even talk about it, man.
Yeah, you have to do mumble rap when you talk about them. Boo 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 boo.
Last time
That's all good.
Cowboys aren't winning a Super Bowl, and that's about it. But now, you got anything else on that?
No, I don't have anything else on the Cowboys.
And they don't
Yeah.
have anything else but a first round exit. So now on to the Lakers. It looks like they finally starting to turn the corner. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, Anthony Davis with some back-to-back big games, 40s and 50 points. LeBron looking good. They're 10 and 12. Do you think they have a chance to make the playoffs?
Oh, they'll make the playoffs. They'll make the playoffs if either one of them don't get hurt. But if they get hurt, you know, they can be strolling along doing real well, and next thing you know, both of them get hurt. So that it depends on what their physical is at the end of the year determined. And I'm more concerned about Anthony Davis than I'm even concerned about LeBron and that. What do you think?
I think that LeBron's looking good, Anthony Davis is looking good, Russell Westbrook's looking good off the bench, but you can't be Father Time, and LeBron is getting up there in age. He's been injured, I think 3 of the 4 years he's been in the LA. Anthony Davis has a long history of injuries. I'd be surprised if if Anthony Davis stays healthy. Yeah, I think they're a playoff team, but I'm not betting on that. If I had to bet $1,000 on it, I wouldn't even bet $1,000 on that. They're still 10 and 12. They had an easier schedule. They beat a good Milwaukee team, but I can't see this team making the playoffs unless they make some moves. I think they got on a streak. I think Darwin Ham's doing a great job, but I just don't think this was a team that's going to be able to compete night in and night out in this NBA right now, which is so loaded with talent. The Western Conference, I think the Utah Jazz were like in the top 3 seed like last week. Now they're at the bottom. And, it turns around so quickly. I'm not really sure the Lakers can hold this up for the long run, but I hope they do because, I'm a LeBron fan. It would be nice to see the Lakers be good just to be able to compete against the teams in the playoffs. Everybody wants to see it, but I don't think.
To go out in the first round, like you said, the Cowboys would.
Yeah,
They're
it'd be,
pretenders.
shoot, instead of talking about playoffs with them, we should be talking about play-in because that's probably more realistic for the Lakers.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you see it my way.
Next on the list, you got your boy Herschel Walker losing the senator race in Georgia. No surprise there. It was a lot closer than you would expect. What do you think about that, Dad?
There's a lot of lying people out there, people who love people who are demons. Well, I take that back. People who love people who are demonizing people. It sounds like the same thing, but the vernacular was a little different. So we'll go with that. But them boys, Trump got some boys running, don't he? He's running a game, a real game, a gang of lying, a gang of credential bashing themselves. I mean, Herschel Walker said he was part of the FBI. I mean, these guys are something else. They amaze me with their name calling and their credential pulling. If they would land anybody else in jail, but these boys got it down packed. They're doing something smart. I don't know what it is, but they're doing something smart. What do you think?
I don't know what it is with Herschel, the court jester Walker, but it just seems like there's something where if you weren't accepted by the Black community at some point in time, that you feel like you have to be goofy and a complete goofball on the side of the other side, and I just don't understand it. I mean, like if you want to run Republican or whatever, so be it, but you don't have to be a clown dancing on TV, basically doing clown stuff, pretty much just throwing your name out there, really no dignity in it. Obviously, maybe he might believe in what Trump's saying, but it doesn't mean he got to go out there and be a fool. I'm pretty sure the race was only close because, there's people who are just football fans and really I mean, politics now has just become who's popular and who's not. I don't think anybody really pays much attention to policy. Like I know older people do a lot of times, but I think a lot of younger people are starting to vote, but they're voting like a popularity contest on TMZ or Instagram, and it's just making politics a joke in general. Now you're probably going to have a lot more celebrities and athletes going for president, and I think more of them are going to win. I think Donald Trump was the opening of that, and we're starting to see how powerless the presidency is, and we're starting to see how America is losing its stake as a superpower because we're not really coming together as we used to.
Well, social media has taken a major role, and untruthful social media has taken a major role into destroying. And some people think it's funny. Some people think it's very funny when you can openly know somebody is lying and still want to vote for them, knowing that they don't mean good to anybody, you know, knowing it and not putting good candidates out there purposely. It's a money thing. It's a soap opera thing, and that's what those think tanks are doing. The people with the money to control countries, they are control. I mean, to destroy a country. That's what they're doing. Their set out is to destroy this country, and if we don't do something about it, more than just voting for Democrat or voting for Republican, we're going to be in trouble in the next couple of elections. So we have to look at that because right now, voting means a lot less to everybody, and they're putting it right out there that it means a lot less to everybody. So they're disenfranchising a lot of people. So wake up and open your eyes and understand that the scariest thing almost happened. And the scariest thing did happen. So what are we gonna do in order to be able to walk the street again with our heads up? You all tell me. That's it.
I got a slightly different take. I feel like it's always been crappy. I think social media is just hiding hiding the fact of how ridiculous it is, because I think before they hid a lot of things from the general public, but now since it's all access, all information 24/7, we now see how bad these candidates really are, but I never thought they were great. And now we're just really seeing for what it really is. People say social media does stuff. Social media is only really just a way for people to communicate more. So basically, if you put these same phones in front of the people 100 years ago, they'd be the same way. Because and the way I validate that thought is look at all the people on social media today. There's a lot of older people on social media. They get on social media talking about how they're going to be different, and they fall in love with social media and act just like the young people. So at the end of the day, what social media does is it gives people access to information that's not just regional, it's global. So people can pick and choose what they want to align to, and that just increases the scope of ideas for people. But that's why you see more people are subscribing to groupthink, because they care so much about validation and they don't really care about actual principles, which I don't think they ever really did. But it was a lot of facades going on, and we're just not seeing the facade anymore. We're just seeing for what it is, for what it is.
Right, right. I agree with you there. It's a situation that is really bad, not pretty bad, really bad. And now everybody is telling it all. You know, it's really bad. But let's move on from that.
One last thing I gotta say on that, I'm sorry I didn't, just real quick, is like a lot of y'all have like regular jobs where y'all have to be drug testers or whatnot, but these politicians don't, and that's all you need to know right there. But other than that, you got anything else you want to talk on that?
Yeah, mainly they showed a picture of Kanye as a Nazi. And did you see that picture?
No.
Well, I won't go into it until next time. But they did ask my boy from the Nets, what did he feel like from being released from Nike's contract? And he said it always feels good, something to the point of it always feels good to be free again. So we'll see where he goes with that. Kyrie Irving. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, you know what I would like to see, since Kanye got dropped by Balenciaga and Adidas, and Kyrie Irving got dropped by Nike. It would be cool if Kyrie Irving and Kanye got together and made a shoe and sold it independently. It's like if Kanye can sell shoes easily on a Yeezy supply store that was really crap, then just imagine what he could do. Let's say if he got some shoes off Alibaba, sold them with Kyrie Irving as the signature athlete, it would go crazy. I mean, Kanye, for whatever he is, he always gets a response from people. He's a great marketer. You put him and Kyrie together, they can make a lot of noise. I think Kanye, on the other hand, he seems like he's bipolar. He said he's bipolar, and I think a lot of times they catch him on interviews when he's in bipolar episodes. He's been marginalized by different people, and some people in the Black community, and you can see how he attacks that. But I wish he had a little bit more tact and was a little bit more aware of people using him. Because I think recently he just kind of found out Trump was using him when everybody else knew that. Where Trump was like he met with a troubled Kanye, and now Kanye is trying to denounce Trump in a way. But a lot of these people that they're campaigning for, like the Trumps and whatever, they're just self-serving. So when you jump on that bandwagon, you got to know what you're along for the ride on. It's like if you want to be different, sometimes you got to just do it your own self, and you can't attach yourself to people that really don't have your best interest.
So are you trying to tell me Trump was trolling Kanye?
The whole time for the last
Uh, that's
6 years.
what I'm talking about. So
6 years.
who would you call the troll of the year? Trump, Kanye, or would you say it is 6ix9ine? Who's the best troll?
Honestly, I think
Oh, Antonio Brown. I forgot about him.
I think if you try to say Antonio Brown, that just belies like his mental health issues because he's clear. I think he clearly has CTE or remnants of that. But I definitely think Kanye would be the best troll because I literally watched the Drink Chance interview that they took down, and he would literally look to the side and start smiling when he would say something crazy. Like he knows what he's doing. It's an intentional. Sometimes when you're trying to put a message to people, you can't say it in a way where they can easily consume it because they'll blow it off. Like, for instance, if I tell you you could save money by using Rakuten on your clothes, people be like, "Oh, okay, whatever." But I say, "You're so dumb. You spent $100 on this shoe, but I got $50 back with Rakuten." Guarantee you, on the second version I said it, more people will look into that. That's just the
Right,
way the
right. All right. Well, you heard it all for the smooth money game. Yeah, we're doing it. What do you think, man?
it's like that. We're back every week. Get on it or get lost.
Right. Getting better every time.